Hello everyone, welcome back to Twisted Serenity. Thanks for clicking on my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how I created some budget-friendly decor using only mostly Dollar Tree items. If you like what you see, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on that bell notification to be notified when I post my next video. So with that being said, sit back and relax or craft with me. Let's get started. Okay, so for our first one, I have this piece of scrap wood. And I'm just going to paint it with some plaster by Waverly chalk paint. And I'm going to wait for it to dry. And once it's dried, I have this cheesecloth. I'm going to take the cheesecloth, I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to cut it into strips. If you work with cheesecloth before, you know that it has it frays. I don't mind the little little strips of fabric that come out with it. I didn't mind that. If you mind that, I know they do sell a thicker one. It's like a fabric cloth that doesn't fray like that. You could use that. But I'm just going to go in with my Fabri-Tac glue, and I'm going to take the strips and I'm start going to wrap the wooden block because we are going to make a little mummy. So we're just going to wrap it no special way or order. I like it a little bit messier, the better it looks, especially for this type of project. Okay, so I stopped wrapping it right there because I'm going to grab some white pieces of felt. And I did cut out 4 circles because I did want, these are going to be the eyes, and I did want them to bulge out a little bit. If you have the big googly eyes, you could use those. I didn't have those, so I'm improvising. And so I used my Fabri-Tac glue, and like I said, I glued the 2 pieces together to make them a little bit thicker. And then I'm going to take some more Fabri-Tac glue, and I'm going to glue our eyes onto the wooden block. Then I'm going to take a piece of black felt and cut smaller, the smaller the inside of the eye. I don't know what I'm trying to say today. The inside of the eye, and the eyeball, I should say, and I'm going to make the eyeballs. I do take a little bit of the cheesecloth, and I do try to put a little bit over the eyes to cover them up a little bit. Now it's a little too white for me, so I grab my chippy brush and some antique wax, and I just dirty up our little mummy, and that is it for this one. Okay, so for our next one, this is going to be fast and easy. You guys, I have these little mini rolling pins. I got them a year ago, and they were the wrong size, but I still use them, and they're so stinking cute. So I'm going to grab 2 of them. The first one, I'm going to paint the handles black in the middle of it with some regular white acrylic paint. Now, once I have it dried, I'm going to take some Dollar Tree rub-on transfers, the Halloween ones. You guys, I love these transfers. And I'm going to take out, the first one I'm going to take out is boo, like the word boo on the ghost one. And I'm going to transfer that right on to our little mini rolling pin. And these rub-on transfers, it's so easy to work with. You just rub them. And if you see there's a spot missing, you could just lay it right back down and rub again, and it peels right up. So easy. I love that you don't have to pull out the Cricut with these rub-on transfers. Now I take out the little mini ghost out of the rub-on transfer pack, and I transfer that right on. That's our first mini rolling pin done, you guys. Now our second rolling pin, I'm going to paint the middle with our orange jack-o'-lantern by Apple Barrel, and our handles with some white acrylic paint. I'm going to take the Halloween word from the rub-on transfers. I'm going to transfer that right on. And then I'm going to take the bats from the rub-on transfer. I'm going to take 2 of the little mini bats. I'm going to transfer right onto the word Halloween, and one onto the handle part of our little mini rolling pin. And that is it. Okay, you guys, I have a piece of white felt, and then I have a shape of a little ghost that I just printed off from Google, and I pinned it down to our piece of felt using some pins, and then I traced and I cut out 4 pieces because I'm going to make 2 little pillow ghosts for our Tiertray. I'm going in with my liquid stitch, and I'm going to just apply my liquid stitch all around our ghost, and I am going to leave an opening so I could fill it up with some of our filling. Now, I don't have polyfill or anything like that. What I use as my filling when I make little pillows, I have this big unicorn. I have said this in my videos so many times that my daughter was going to throw away. So I grabbed it, of course, and I took all the stuffing out of it. And I mean, you guys, it filled up like a 30-gallon like trash bag. I kid you not. It's insane. But once I filled our little pillow up, I like, as you see, I'm gonna just close up with the liquid stitch, close up that little opening, and I made 2 of these little ghosts. Then once I made our little ghosts, it was time to embellish them. So I took some black felt and I cut out the eyes, and I used my liquid stitch to attach those on. And then I had some twine, some black and white twine, and I put it on one of our little ghosts. So that's going to be a little girl ghost. She has like a little bow on. Now, I did want to have them with some little quirky smiles, so using some black felt, I just cut out like little weird shapes as smiles. And that was it for this one, you guys. How stinking cute. Okay, you guys, for this next one, I love how this little house came out. So I have this little house, and this is from Dollar General, and I'm not even sure from what season it was, but it was already cleaned up. I already had cleaned it up for a previous project. So these little houses, they sell them all year round. Every time they go on sale, I grab a bunch of them, as much as I can, because I obviously redo them. So the roof, I painted it black, and then the house was just with some plaster chalk paint by Waverly. Now, once I had that done, I grabbed some of those mini, they're as thin as like the coffee stir sticks, but they're the craft mini sticks. And I'm going to cut down a couple pieces and paint them with black, because I want to build up a little door for our little mini haunted house. So before I glue down the wood pieces, I do want to go in with some gray paint. Now, this is my own gray paint that I made because I could not find no gray paint for some reason. I have every single color but gray paint. And I'm just going to give it a dry brush. Since this is going to be a haunted house, I want it to look very spooky. So I give it a dry brush, and then I take my Fabri-Tac glue and I build up my little door. Now, using those thin little mini craft sticks, I'm going to cut down 3 more pieces. And before I attach them on, I'm just going to give our little door frame a dry brush of some white regular acrylic paint. I do paint the 3 little pieces I cut down with some black chalk paint to match our roof, and I dry brush them as well to match our door frame and our roof. I'm sorry. Now, once I have them all painted and dried, I am going to take them and I'm going to attach them on our door frame so it could look like the door is boarded up. Now, I have 2 little pieces of scrap wood. I think these are like scrap pieces from a jumbo craft stick, and I'm going to paint them with our white acrylic paint. And then I had made 2 little decals on my Cricut, and the Home Sweet Haunted Home would go on the bigger piece, and then I also made a do not enter, and that would go on the smaller piece. I also took some small like images of spiders from the rub-on transfers from Dollar Tree, and I transferred on some of those onto our little pieces as well. Now, once I transferred on those little decals, I'm going to take them and I'm going to glue them onto our haunted house. Now, to make this piece more fun, I took the different images from the rub-on transfers from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to transfer them onto our little piece. I put a crow on the top. Now, this cat was also one of the rub-on transfers from Dollar Tree, which I love this cat. I transfer that onto one side of the house, and then I'm going to transfer some of the jack-o'-lanterns to the other side of the house, and I do a couple more spiders, and then I distress our roof with some white paint to match our door. And that was it for this one, you guys. I love this piece. It looks like something you could buy at the store. And what I love that we made it with all Dollar Tree products. Okay, you guys, for our next one, I have some Jingle blocks. These are not Tumbling Tower blocks. They are Jingle blocks. And I got these at my thrift store. So I do sand the side of them just because the Jingle word is raised, just to smooth it out a little bit. And I'm going to take one of the blocks and I'm going to paint one in orange. Now, I'm going to grab those wonderful, wonderful Dollar Tree rub-on transfers. And this time I'm going to grab the word trick and treat. And I'm going to transfer them onto each of our blocks. And then I grab an image once again from the other I'm grabbing an image from the rub-on transfers, and I'm going to transfer on an image to each of the block. And then I will take some black paint for the white block and some white paint for the orange block. And I'm just going to go like rub basically like a dry brush on the outer the outlining of it just so it could pop a little bit more. And that was it for this one, you guys. Okay, so for our next one, we have a wood plank. You could get these at Dollar Tree. I think they come 4 or 6 to a pack. I'm going to take it and I'm just going to take some black acrylic paint and give it 2 good coats. Now, I have this decal that was on, I believe, Cricut Design Space. And I'm transferred onto the wood, our little wood plank, to the middle part of our wood plank. Because I do want to make a border for this. To make our border, I'm using like, these are those skinny craft sticks. You can also use coffee stir sticks if you don't have these. And I'm going to give them a coat of white paint. And then I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac glue to glue on the border. I did have to like cut a couple pieces for the width of it, just so it could be a little bit longer. Once it was glued on, I didn't like the gap it looked like it had. So I went in with some spackle. And I put some spackle on there and sanded it up and cleaned it all up. I should have did it before I painted it, but I didn't. So I just took a brush with some gray paint and I gave it a heavy dry brush. And that was it for this one, you guys. So quick, so simple. And another piece of decor for pennies. All right, here's another cheap one. This little piece came from like a Dollar Tree garden sign, and this was like the oval piece on the garden sign. So I just cleaned it up, and I'm give it 2 coats of our black apple barrel paint. Now, once I have it painted, I'm going to make a reverse stencil. So I printed this out on my Cricut, and I transferred it onto this little oval shape, and then I'm going to go in with my orange. I believe it's jack-o'-lantern or harvest pumpkin. I'll link the colors down in the description box. And I'm going to go over our stencil. Now, I did go a little bit heavier where the letters are, but I did leave a little bit of black popping through. And once, not too dry, not too wet, I did weed out our 31 and our October letters. I take out these wood stickers and I use the bat and I paint it with some black paint. And then I glue it onto our sign. And that is it for this one, you guys. Okay, so for our next one, we are going to take some jumbo craft sticks. And we are going to cut the ends off of them. And we are going to paint them all with some gray paint. Now, once they're completely dried, I took some folk art. Like, I think it's like enamel. Like silver enamel, and I'm going to give it like a dry brush just to give it some different tones to make it look like a gravestone, like a distressed old gravestone. Now I'm going to grab my chalk marker, and I'm just going to write different goofy names on our little gravestones. I wrote rest in peace, I'll be back, sushi. Obviously they're not spelled exactly how it is. That's the point of it. And once I have all the names on there, I grab some Waverly chalk paint and my chippy brush, and I'm just going to distress around our little gravestones. And then I'm going to take those rub-on transfers again, and I'm going to take the tiniest images from the rub-on transfers, and I'm just going to transfer on some images to each of our gravestone. Now I grab this black and white baker's twine. I'm going to tie off the ends. And then I'm going to take our little mini headstones or gravestones. I'm not sure what they're called. I'm confused now. And now using a little bit of hot glue, I am going to glue them onto the baker's twine. And I am going to just space them out. I'm just eyeballing it. No certain measurements. As usual. And once I have it on there, I just, for some reinforcement, I took some crafter sticks and I glued them on to the back of our little headstones. And that was it for this one, you guys. Okay, these are going to be fast and easy. I have a dowel stick that I'm going to cut down into 2 different pieces. The first one, I'm going to stain it with some Waverly wax. And then I have these like Brussels straw type things. It looks like a broom. I don't know where I got these from. They were in my stash, so I'm deciding to use them. I cut them down, and I'm going to just wrap them around the bottom end of the dowel, and I'm going to use some twine and wrap it all up to hold together, because of course we're making a little mini broom. Now, once I have this one done, I'm going to grab another dowel and I'm going to paint it with some regular black chalk paint. I'm sorry, some black paint from Apple Barrel. And then I have these little bristle things. And these ones are from, like, you know, those scented, like, cinnamon brushes that Dollar Tree has? That's where this one is from. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut them down and I'm going to wrap them up. And one thing I said, make sure you're pulling that twine really, really hard. You want this to be nice and secure. Now, once I have my little brooms done, I grab some of these little plastic rings from Dollar Tree. I grab a spider and a bat, and I just paint them both with some black paint. The bat was black. I just went a little bit, just to dull it down a little bit with some black paint. And I put them right on the brooms, and that was it. Okay, for this next one, you guys, I have like this little frame shadow box type of thing from Dollar Tree. I already had cleaned it all up. And I just popped it out, and I'm going to paint it with a dark gray that I just mixed up using some black and white paint. And then once it's dried, I'm going to dry brush it with some plaster chalk paint. Now I have this little wood circle. I think these come in like a 6-pack or a 4-pack from Walmart. And I'm going to just start off by painting it in plaster. And then I'm just going to make some spots with some gray and some golden sunset by Apple Barrel paint. I want to make it look like a moon. But I didn't want it like too bright, like a bright color. So I took out this house-shaped wood sticker from Dollar Tree and I just sanded off the glitter. And then I just painted it over with some Apple Barrel black paint. Now, I took the frame and I decided to paint the outside of the frame all in black. And then once it was dried, I distressed it with some white paint. Just to make this look like a little haunted house type of scene. Now using hot glue, I'm just going to pop the back end right back into the frame. Now once I had it all assembled, I took my little wood moon and I glued that down to the left side of the frame. And then I had some rub-on transfers from Dollar Tree, some bats. And they did have, it looks like 3 different sizes. I decided to put them on my moon. And then I took my house and I glued it right onto the bottom of the frame. Now I wanted to decorate it a little bit, so I took some tiny craft sticks and I cut the ends off so they could be some gravestones, and I just wrote on them, rest in peace. And then I'm just gonna embellish this all up. So I glue those into our little scene. And then I also took some, what do you call it? I'm sorry, rub-on transfers. I lost the word there for a second. The ghost one, and I made the ghost. I transferred on the ghost to make it look like if it was coming out of the house. Now the potpourri you can find at Dollar Tree that has the little mini pumpkins. I took 2 of those out and I glued 2 of those into our house. And then I had a wood sticker bat and I put that on the corner of the left house to make it look like our biggest bat. And that was it. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like what you see, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on that bell notification to be notified when I post my next video. I always want to thank all my supporters for all the comments and all the support that you guys give me. I appreciate it so much. And as I always say, this world could throw you twists and turns, but always make good choices. To the next one, you guys.